Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. I'm just going to quickly just apologise. I've been off for quite a long time. I did get a chest infection. It did really wipe me out. I'm still not 100%, I have to be honest, and I thought yesterday I was still getting a bit of pain when I sat upright, but today it seems a lot better, so I'm hoping I'm going to get through a full video. Yesterday my thinking was that I was going to come back do a video and just do the one card, but hopefully I'm going to get through the two with a bit of creative editing whenever I start to cough. But let's get started, so it's enough about that. So Crafting with Hunkydory magazine, number 86, launched a little while ago. Have to say, this is the best issue that they've done this year. The kit in it is beyond beautiful. If you've got yours, you will know it's bright. It's exactly what we needed this time of year. And you get loads of stuff with it as well. So you've got the magazine, which in itself is brilliant, and then you've got a full kit. We will go through the individual elements as I craft along. You've also got a die, which is a lifetime tool as long as you look after it. These beautiful acetates, which I would be quite happy to buy a pack of those on their own, and some papers as well. But let's just pop all of this to the side. The one I'm going to be playing with today is the one on top. So let's just pop that out of the way for a second. And they're going to be quite easy cards today, just to get me back into it. And I'm going to start with a little stepper card. So let's bring in the trimmer. And I've got a piece of 6x12 300 GSM cardstock. Just had a delivery from Paper Cuts today because I'd got quite low. And what I'm going to do is just pop this up to the 1 inch mark there, and I'm going to cut from 1 to 7. So we're just going to do a nice quick little stepper, and then we're going to do the same on the other side from 1 to 7. And then if I bring that in to the 6 inch mark and just put that across the centre, just so it's easier to find when I grab my scoreboard, which is what we're going to do now. Okay, so you want your cut lines towards the left hand side, and I'm going to score at 1 inch to the cut line, at 2 inch to the cut line, and at 7. And then I'm just going to go over that 6 inch one in the middle. It's just the halfway point of the card. And then I'm just going to turn that over and do the same. So 1 inch, 2 inch, and 7. And then if we pop that out of the way, you can just start to bring those in. And we're going to end up with this beautiful little stepper. My favourite little stepper of all time. And I know I do get comments that people like it as well. It's super simple. It looks effective. And it's not too much, you know. Sometimes you've got all of these beautiful steppers with all of the steps. And they are beautiful, I'm not going to lie. I do love doing multi-step steppers. But this one, just making sure that's straight, it doesn't look too much. So if it's somebody who's not really into card making, it's not going to complicate their eye view. It's, you know, it's sometimes when you look at things, it's super complicated, and that can put people off trying it. And also it can put, sometimes if it's too complicated, people who don't make cards don't really understand why you'd go to all that trouble. You know, going from experience of when I've given cards out to some people and they've gone, oh, well, you know, that's unusual, in that sort of tone where, you know, it's sort of, it's been a bit too much for them. So some people just appreciate just a straightforward card because that's all they're expecting. But this little stepper, like I say, is not too much. You know, it's fancy without being too fancy, is what I'm trying to say there. Okay, so let's take a 6x6 Miri mat, and I'm going to start by taking 2 notches off that 6 because I do like my white edges. And then I'm going to take a piece off the bottom, which is going to be 2 notches off of the 1 inch. So each notch is 1/16. So that's going to be our bottom piece. And then if I take this to 2 notches under the 5, so these pieces you can save if you want to, but these pieces here are all 5 inches long. So I'm going to take 2 notches off of the 1 inch, and I'm going to do that twice for the little, I call them arms, which will go into there. And then we want a piece that's going to be 2 notches under the 4. By rotating that card around, if you're using the 6x6, just find that you waste less cardstock, and that's going to be that piece there. Okay, and then if I bring in the printed cardstock, I didn't show you all of these, did I? So this is the one we're using. This is the one called With Love. We've got the 2 square toppers. We've got the pug, which is the one we're using on this stepper. We've got Pugs and Kisses. You bring out all my brightest colours. With Love, happy birthday from me to you. And obviously this is a sentiment one as well, with wishing you the most perfect day. The foiled cardstock has those beautiful paw prints, and the printed cardstock has this beautiful watercolour design with these paw prints. It looks like as if you've done a faux bleaching or the bleaching effect on there. But I'm going to start by taking this to 5 3/4, and I think what I'm going to do is take 3/4 of an inch off of both of these sides. Now I will need to cut that down a little further because I want these for the arms of my cards. So they will need to go to 4 3/4. Then I think I'm going to go 3/4 of an inch with a little bit of the purple and a little bit of the purple and those paw prints. That's going to be my bottom piece there. Then these pieces, like I say, they need to go to 4 3/4, 4 3/4, and then I think I'm going to go this way around, so we want to be 3 3/4, and I'm going to take that to just below there, just because it's not going to make sense to have that going that way when I've got the purple going lengthways. And then I can take that to 4 3/4. So it's 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. That way I've got this paw detail, and I can either have it at the top, probably going to have it at the bottom because the orientation is looking better. But we've still got some decent sized pieces. Maybe use that for popping things out, die cutting, sentiments, etc. This piece could be a panel. Let's put that to the side, and let's put that down, and we can start to okay, so sorry, we can start to pop these down. So the glues I'm going to be using, I am going to be using my Dotty tape pen. I'm going to be using Kalau all-purpose glue. I'm also going to be using Kalau tacky glue, which is the little white one. I'm not sure, you might have to shop around if you're in the UK for it. I'm not sure if Crafters Companion have any stock of it. I think they have been a little bit their stock levels have, you know, I think basically things have come in and gone straight back out again with them. There are various other places. eBay's quite good. Pink Frog sometimes has the all-purpose. Oops, just getting that on there. There we go. Yeah, it's a challenge. I've not been able to find one place that consistently sells it at the moment, so I can't really put a link down, but if you Google cut out all-purpose, then just take your pick of who you want that to go. And I've just realised I could have put that purple bit at the top because I have got the purple at the bottom, but never mind. It would have looked a bit like a frame, but it's going to be fine. And I think when those paw prints need to go that way, so let's pop that down there. Then if I open these out again, I'm using the dotty tape pen on these smaller pieces. You can use the tacky glue. I just find lately here they were popping off, which was quite annoying. So I'm going to do it with these sort of spots, these sort of distress edge more towards the centre. And like I always say with these steppers, you don't really see this bottom part unless you open the card out like this. So make sure your best edges are to the top. It's nice to get back to card making. I literally haven't made any cards since I have been poorly. And actually I think that sort of hampers their sort of recovery, because it's my favourite thing to do, and you can't do your favourite thing, you know. Okay, so that's those there. Let's pop this one on. And putting tacky glue on this bigger piece because I can basically, yeah. Works okay with these big pieces. It's only the smaller pieces that do tend to pop off. So far, it's always their first time, isn't it? That just gives me that wiggle room time. You do get the same amount of wiggle room time with the dotty tape pen, have to be honest, because if you do happen to pop it in the wrong place, with that dotty tape pen, you do have a window to move that, a window of time to move that about. So you can be confident you're going to be able to put that where you want it to be. But you can see, as a starter point, that's a really cute little card. Let's bring in these toppers, and I'm going with my beautiful little pug. And he's going on there. I'm going to have my pugs and kisses. Oops. I'm also going to grab a sentiment as well. Don't know, actually that doesn't stand out as well as I thought it might. No, I am going to pop that on there. I might bring in a little bit of pink card behind it, just to brighten it up. Actually, let's have a little look at this piece here. Maybe it needs a darker piece. Bear with me 2 seconds. Okay, so I've got a piece of this pink, like the candy pink. I've just got a little off piece from my bit box. I'm just going to make a little mat and layer for this, just to make this stand out a little more. Now the size on this is, it's just about 2 notches under the one. So I'm going to go 2 notches over the one, so I want the pink to really show through, but I still do need to keep this within my page. And then lengthwise we are just about 2 3/4. So if I go to 3, hopefully we should be there. Obviously I won't get rid of that. Let's have a little look at that. Yeah, that's going to be fine. So we were, let's go with the straight range. So we were 3. So this bit I'm just going to go with 2 notches. So 3 and 2 notches by, I think it was 2 notches over the one. So we need to go to 1 1/4. Let's put it the right way, otherwise we're going to chop it in half. And hopefully that should fit on there quite nicely. You could of course just cut that sentiment out from that die, and that would fit on here quite nicely. But I'm thinking if I put that there, we've got that nice big chunk there. And I've looked through the little book of sentiments. There's not one that I've got left to use on there. So what I will do at a later date, and you won't see this unless I do it straight after this video, depending on how long it takes me to edit and stuff. You probably won't see it on the photos, but at some point I will put a photo up with it. So I have I don't have a Spellbinders glimmer machine. I have a Crafter's Companion one. I'm just going to use some 2mm foam pads on this sentiment. And I find it works really well with the Spellbinders Better Press Plates or any other press plates. Don't really have any issues of overfoiling with it. I don't think I'm just using tacky glue on the back. I could use the purple glue stick, but it was just the first thing I grabbed. Yeah, I don't have any problems with overfoiling on it. It is super simple to use. It is my favourite thing. I'm just going to pop some 2mm foam pads on here as well. I've got quite a few Spellbinders plates, press plates. I had been collecting them. I haven't bought any for a little while, I have to be honest. So I've got this one coming in. Maybe we can come over a little. And then a couple of gems here. Maybe even come right over there. Yeah. So this one I'm going to use some 1mm foam pads, I think. If I can find where they're hiding. There you are. Yeah, so I do like to get that foiling out and have a little play now and then. It is a lot of fun. And the Hunkydory cardstock does foil beautifully, as you would expect it to, since Hunkydory do foil on it as well. Let's use that purple glue stick this time. Oops. I do love this for the back of foam pads, because not only do you get that wiggle room time, it does make it a little bit slidey. So if you just need to adjust just a little bit, and I've just avoided putting any foam pads on that corner just so that they don't stick to the back of my card. But the purple glue stick is perfect for the back of foam pads. It's just my new favourite thing. My old favourite thing was the dotty tape pen. So many great things come out of Hunkydory this year. I mean, I know now they are in the middle of sale season, and to be fair, this will pretty much last until the new year on and off. I don't think there'll be very many more new launches. Traditionally, there's not anyway. I was wondering if they're going to be doing any goodie boxes this year, because I'm pretty sure we usually have them this time of year, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. So I'm going to pop 3 on this side. And of course I'm going to straighten them up. I'm going to pop. Do the same on this other side actually. There we go. Waste of time turning that over, wouldn't it? And it's just going to fall. And then I need some, I think I'm going to go with 2 up here and 1 down here, just to balance things out. Let's pop those away before I spill them. That one. And then this one down here just to finish. And if I just straighten those up, you do get a little bit of time just to play. Make sure you're happy. That is going to be our card number 1. There are inserts that you can download for this and print out at home. I haven't done it yet. Apparently there's quite a few. I remember them saying there was a lot. So I really do want to get on and get those downloaded at some point and add that in. But that's card number 1. And I'm just going to take a little break and get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, I've just got a piece of that 6x12. I folded it in half just to make a little 6x6 card. So that's what we're starting with. And if I bring in the trimmer and another 6x6 mirror mat, and I can take 2 notches or 1/8 of an inch off 2 of the sides. That's just going to give me that lovely white border that I love on a card. It also means that I can get 2 pieces out of here, because this I cut to a 5 3/4. I'm using the foiled piece this time, although you're not going to see any of that foiled on. I just really like this purple piece. And you could be using your embossing folders to add texture in. And I'm just cutting that to 5 3/4 square. And that's going to fit beautifully onto there. Now what I have done is just trimmed out the border. And the topper I'm going to be using is the cat one. I'll put that to the side for a second. But what I want to do is pop this border on at an angle and trim it down. So I'm going to do that now before I mat and layer. I am going to use 2mm foam pads. I'm just going to pop this on. And the reason why I decided to go at an angle for these toppers is because it's a cat, right? That's what they do. If you've got a cat, you will know. And I'm just going to pop that. I think that'll be fine. Yep, I think that's going to be great. And then whatever angle I match, I use, I'll match up for the topper. But let me just bring that in just to make sure I don't go. So that's going to go approximately there. So let's go there. And then what I can do is to get to my mat. So we didn't need that foam pad. Put that away before that causes any more damage. Let's go this way first of all. And you can use your trimmer if you're not confident at cutting along the edges with your scissors. And I'm feeling like that is going to be great. Okay, so we can come in with our tacky glue. And our all-purpose glue. So now I can assemble. Now I've got that piece on. That's the only piece I'm trimming. Although if you wanted to, you could come in with the topper and do the same. Obviously keep most of the main part of it on. Let me just show you what I mean. I'm not going to do this, but you could also take that off the page even like that if you wanted to, and then trim across those edges. That's not the plan for me today, but if you wanted to change it up a little bit, you could. So again, just popping these down. And I ought to say as well, thank you so much for all of you guys that have been messaging me to see how I am and stuff. I know I was off a long time, much longer than I thought it was going to be, to be honest. But thank you so much. It's difficult being at home all the time because you don't really have that sort of social circle of people that check up on you. So the fact that you guys do check up on me is a beautiful thing. So you know, I can't thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. I do appreciate it. Okay, now I'm not sure if I want all of these layers, so I was just trimming some of the pips off, so they're a bit proud on that one. Let's see what it looks like without, and then let's see what it looks like with. See, I think it does need something else, so let's maybe over like that. Maybe I should just go with I'm going to keep them as they are, but different layers. So what we'll do is, if I make sure I've got my frame, this one I'm going to pop flat, this the inside one. So let's just pop that on where we want that to go. This is going to come off of the side like so. So we've got plenty of room. I'm going to use my tacky glue. Let's get rid of these. I'm just going to spit glue everywhere. You could use your dotty tape pen if you prefer. So just popping that thin line down. I'm going to hold that in place. Pop that on. And then I can just move that out of the way. There's a little bit of glue there, but you're not going to see it. And then I've got some 2mm foam pads, which I think I cut down in the last video all that time ago. Hunkydory strips are way better than this, have to be honest, but the strips that I have got a few, but because they do like us to use Hunkydory products on the samples for the design team guys, I tend to keep them for that, to be honest. I know that and shaker cards, which I know I haven't done for a long time. And I just want one more. Let's just grab some scissors just in the corner. That should be quite nicely supported. I do put quite a few on. I have said about this with foam pads. I just think if they're going to go through the post, and 9 times out of 10 you're not going to send it through the post, but if it is going to go through the post, you just want it to arrive in a pretty much the same condition it left, and by adding that support in there you are almost guaranteeing that. There's no full guarantee. Let's use our proper glue stick, although we should be fine just to plonk it on because we know exactly where it's going, because it has to go over. It has to go over that frame. And I think I want, is there a right or a wrong way for these paw prints? Kind of feel like that is the way. I'm just going to lift that up just to make sure I've got that dead on. And then this one again, 2mm, so you're going to have a little bit of a variation in the depth because of that one frame being further back. And even though it's purple, that bit keeps popping, even though it's purple, it's a solid purple rather than this sort of watercolour purple, so it does stand out. And obviously it's next to the pink, and then we'll have the pink of the topper as well. And purple glue again, we do know where it's going, but just for peace of mind, that's going in there like so. And then obviously this one needs a 2mm foam pad on because it's coming over the top. I'm only going to pop that on one side. This time I use tacky glue because I want to pop a little bit on there. So I'm keeping all of those angles the same. I actually feel like that does just need a little bit more height. So let me just grab a little piece of 1mm foam pad. I might find this hard to stick now I've got that glue on the back. Okay, let's just get rid of that. Let's get a bigger piece. Here we go. Again, I'm going to use tacky glue. I think that should sit a little better over there. Yeah, it does. There we go. Now for gems, I thought I would do just something slightly different because I want to make a little paw print in this corner. We need some little toe beans. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're only doing one, so we've got the 5 gems. Let's see what it looks like. Come on. And I can just glue them down if I'm happy with it. I think I kind of want to keep it at the same angle as this. 5. I might add 2 more in on these 2 corners just to bring everything together, but I do like this, so let's pop that down and then I'll just grab those gems again. There's our little paw print. You might have stickers, you might have gems that do this for you, make a little paw print, but let's pop. Yeah, they were looking a bit naked, those 2 corners, so let's just add those in without messing up my paw print. Sorry if my hands are at a weird angle. There we go. Yeah, I'm a bit happier with that now. Just move that over. Move that one there. Okay, so there we got card number 2. Just a little bit different by having it on those funky angles. Again, just because that's what they do, cats, innit? I haven't got any cats anymore, but I remember they used to. And obviously there's always videos online as well. But those are the 2 cards from today. So we've still got plenty left over. We've got the foiled card stock. Got a little bit there that I could use as a border. Still got that big topper, this one here. I haven't got the 8x8 book, but next time I order I want to pop that in. Another piece of cardstock there. So that is With Love set. So that's it for this one. So again, that's just to let you know that's magazine number 86. It's been out for about 2 weeks now, since the start of the month. You know, I will put the link in the description if you are interested in purchasing it. It is a good buy. I have to be honest, especially if you are new to Hunkydory or new to crafting. Because the magazine, it has loads of bits on about the kits. That's a little bit about some things that were coming up, but you've seen those. A little bit about the guys, but you've got all of these card ideas, all with instructions and things. Those are different kit sets that have come out, but you can always apply the different cards to whatever goodies you've got, whether it be Hunkydory or not. And at the back, I think there usually is some templates as well. Okay, so like I say, it's brilliant, a brilliant buy. It's only, I think, £9.99. Yeah, £9.99. And then obviously postage, but you get that whole kit, which is worth that and much more. I mean, that die itself, the free die you get with it it's got to be worth at least a £5, isn't it? And then you've got the kit on top, which is beautiful. Like I say, I really do love it. But that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.